We'll talk about Rob Manfred now for a little bit, because Rob Manfred is the guy behind this. As you said, Rob Manfred is the commissioner. He was smiling through the whole thing. You know, a guy who last 2 years ago said that the World Series trophy was just a hunk of metal. A guy who said, you know, a guy who continuously devalued the importance of the game that he's commissioner over. You know, we start off in 2014. Rob Manfred takes over from Bud Selig. Bud Selig, warts and all, Bud Selig cared about the game. Bud Selig knew how to control ownership. Bud Selig was a former owner himself, which owners respected. He was a guy who worked at a car dealership to make enough money to buy the Milwaukee Brewers. Was it the Braves or the Brewers? Brewers. Yeah. He bought the Brewers and became commissioner, worked his way up. And, like, you know, with the steroid stuff, yeah, that's a major black spot in his legacy. And that should be something he held responsible for. But the dude cared about the game. He was commissioner for a player's strike as well. But, you know.
This is more embarrassing.
This is more embarrassing because this falls solely on Rob Manfred. So, other mistakes Rob Manfred's made in his career, the Astros scandal, the brushing of that under the rug. I mean, every year there's a new scandal revolving around.
That must be on his side with all this crap must be that dude.
Jim Crane, yeah. When the players did not face any discipline from the scandal, while he gave players immunity for honesty, still doesn't feel like he got the right answers, and it really felt like he swept a whole thing under the rug. Again, Rob Manfred responded to the whole scandal, people saying it devalued the World Series trophy by saying the trophy is just a hunk of metal, which, like, gross.
Yeah, that's...
So, Manfred, you know, we know all the bad shit Manfred's done, but do you think he's the worst commissioner in sports? And I'll go through a couple other commissioners as well.
Give me some more names.
We got Gary Bettman, who's the NHL commissioner, who people fucking hate. He is also commissioner for another strike season in 03-04.
He's very bad.
He's been commissioner since 1993 with the objective to grow the game, particularly in the United States market, and end labor unrest. However, in efforts to expand hockey in the U.S., he angered many fans in Canada and the northern U.S. by relocating teams in those markets into non-traditional hockey markets.
Isn't there four NHL teams in Canada?
There's 7.
There's a lot of teams in Canada, man.
Yeah, well, so it's a Canadian sport. I mean,
I understand that, but I mean, NHL's America.
I think their headquarters are in Toronto.
Are they?
NHL headquarters?
I think so.
Is it really?
I thought it was in New York. I thought they were all just in New York.
I just assumed it was in America.
It is in New York.
It's in New York?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bettman fumbled a few scandals too. That recently the Blackhawks won.
Oh, that one's
he didn't handle
disgusting.
that. Yeah, I mean, obviously the Blackhawks are ultimately at fault, but
yeah, but like,
he handled that one pretty poorly. And like you said, the whole growing of the game has been the players have been doing most of that as of recently too. It's a big push with like on social media and all that.
And also with the Olympic stuff too.
It's
like
getting
Olympics.
Yeah, it's getting better, but he's bad.
Yeah, he's bad. He's one of those guys also who's very contentious.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just feels he's always right. And yeah, he kind of falls in line with Manfred in terms of swarminess. Bettman's very swarmy.
Mm-hmm.
Goodell's an idiot.
Well, that's the next guy we're talking about, Roger Goodell. You know, we all know about Goodell.
The Ray Rice situation was ridiculous.
The Ray Rice situation, I think, is one of the biggest black marks on his resume. Just kind of the 2-game suspension, when you had video evidence, you made his wife come out and apologize for what she did.
Wait a minute. They made the wife come out and apologize?
They had a press conference with Ray Rice and the wife, and she had to, like, apologize pretty much.
What?
So she didn't have to. She did apologize.
For what, though? What the hell is she apologizing for? She's the one that got dragged around unconscious.
Well, not to get too deep into stuff, but when shit like this happens, like the
money,
the money and the person who was abused is a spot of fear sometimes where they feel like they need to apologize.
Yeah.
She was not forced to apologize.
Well, still, the optics of having her on the press conference.
I'm not backing up Rob.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
Really, Mike?
Really? I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah. Like, so
He spent too much time on Deflategate, too. That was
he spent way too much time on Deflategate. You know, that was the whole thing. Boy, he just felt slighted by Tom Brady. The dude takes personal grievances out on people. I mean, we have, you know, more stuff around, like, you know, it's something specific I wanted to say. What was it?
About football?
About football, Roger.
Concussions?
Oh, yeah, concussions. I think Manfred has. I mean, not Manfred. I think Goodell has done a good job at growing the game.
Yeah, I mean,
exponentially.
they're gonna start playing in Germany now in the next few years, Mexico, all that stuff. So I mean, they're expanding to other countries.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
growing the game
So,
that way.
I think Goodell has learned from his mistakes in the past. I think he's getting better, but he's still swarmy and shitty. Then we got Adam Silver. Pretty good commissioner.
There's, I mean,
Not much here.
not really much against him.
No.
I don't think there's really anything that he's.
He handled the Sterling thing well.
Yeah.
He handled. He's
I
handled.
I think Silver's done pretty well.
I
Silver's-
think he's done fantastic.
He's
yeah.
way better than the other guy.
I think he's the best commissioner in sport by a landslide.
Yeah, it's not
honestly.
close.
It's
It's
not
not
close.
close. It's Silver.
The way he handled the whole like COVID situation, everything too, like
The
all
bubble
these,
is just
they-
impressive.
They all like all these other sports like went off of what they were doing. The NBA,
Yeah.
like they just followed his model and it worked. So.
So Adam.
He actually seems like he's smart though too. Silver, unlike these
Well,
other
he
fuck
was
guys.
David Stern's like assistant for a long time. He was always so like
So
when they do
everything that
the
he did
NBA
wrong.
draft.
He's like, I'm not gonna do that.
The first round, the commissioner does the picks, and the second round, like the assistant or someone does those picks. So for years, Adam Silver was always doing the second round, and now he stepped up, and now he's the head guy. But no, he's been around for a while. So he
Yeah.
likes the game too, so that's a plus.
You got David Stern after that. David Stern had many scandals with his name. I mean, that dude definitely did some shady shit to help
Yeah.
grow the game.
Yeah, there was definitely a
Like-
few things behind the scenes that he was involved with, but
Yeah.
he did take the NBA to new levels at the same
R.I.P.
time. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
recently died.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
2
like-
years ago.
I can't keep up with all
December
these dead
2019.
people.
2018.
2019.
Everyone's
2019.
dying, huh?
Yeah, everyone's dying these days.
Crazy what
Yeah.
happens when you get old.
Yeah.
What about Dana White?
Dana White?
Dana White's a scumbag
Oh, no.
among
He just
all
doesn't
scumbags.
play. He doesn't.
He doesn't pay his
fighters,
fighters
as much
at
as
all.
they deserve at all.
What?
I disagree. I think he's one of the best.
Oh, he's great at. He's done a
And I
phenomenal
think he-
And I
job.
don't think he's a scumbag at all.
I think
He's such a
he's
scumbag.
unfair to the fighters.
I don't
do
think
think
so.
they
to the
earn more.
fighters.
They deserve more money than what they get.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
He's said it multiple times. He will show you, and you talk to any fighter that gets paychecks and whatnot, and somehow this story got blown up that they don't get paid. They get paid. They get paid very well. I don't know where the story came from. I'll back up Dana White till I fucking die. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's great.
What about Sepp Blatter from FIFA? That guy might be the worst.
I
I
mean, he's
know
just
nothing about
a criminal.
He's like a literal
Like,
criminal.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
just an actual
He
criminal.
takes like dirty money from scumbag, like this whole Cutter shit.
Yeah.
Like that. Isn't that what ended his career? Was this shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoa, excuse me.
What was that?
I was just talking a burp. Sorry.
Sepp Blatter was the head of FIFA.
He well, the downward spiral was the when was it? 4 years ago? When was that whole thing that came out? The scandal.
Yeah. So
Someone help me.
let's see.
Line.
He has
no
a
idea.
humble nonprofit, despite having he refers to FIFA as a humble nonprofit, despite it being worth more than $1 billion on reserve, and argued that women's soccer would be more popular if we made shorts shorter. Despite FIFA corrupt past, which has seen nearly half of Blatter's executives resign in disgrace, and is currently in the focus of an FBI, IRS, and Department of Justice investigation.
Yeah.
Its future seems to be even worse off. The international soccer body faces allegations that the 2022 World Cup was sold in parcel to Qatar, where temperatures average more than 120 degrees in the summer, and it's estimated that due to dangerous working conditions, more than 4,000 workers will die before the ball's kicked off
Yep.
in 2022.
I mean, everyone knows this at this point. FIFA is one of the most corrupt organizations in all of not even just in sports, in the fucking world. It's awful. It's dirty money left and right. It's bribery left and right. It's this shit with Qatar, like you said. It's bad. FIFA's
Yeah.
bad.
I think the cricket commissioner
The cricket
pretty
commissioner.
bad too.
Yeah. Nick, we still got a
Joke of
little
the
bit
day
for
starting
joke of
early.
the day.
Yeah,
We still got
don't.
Don't waste all your cricket jokes
yeah.
early.
All this being said, though, prior to this baseball thing, I think it was Roger Goodell by a landslide. Now I think it's Rob Manfred, and I don't even think it's close.
It's not close.
that fuck and that
The
it's
smile.
that
It's
picture.
the
That
smile.
picture,
That
dude.
picture
I need to
is
see
what
this
put him
picture.
over the
What the
edge.
fuck
I'll
picture
show
is
you. I have
this?
him.
He is
guy,
grinning ear
he's
to
a
ear, saying that we're not playing baseball this
And
year.
he
It
loves
was
it.
oh,
He loves it.
it was the most villainous thing I've ever
He
seen.
loves
Oh,
it.
my phone's freaking out.
That new
I
phone.
it was just once I saw that I was like, this guy is the worst
Mhm.
fucking commissioner, human being. To see, like you said, Giant, to see the sport that you're supposed to be running and make sure games are played, to see that man smiling that games aren't being played is just like, what the fuck? How shitty are you? How fucking awful are you?
He does not care about the games being played. Doesn't care about the players. He
It's
doesn't
all-
care about the sport.
He doesn't give a
How
shit.
do you have a commissioner that doesn't even like the sport that he's commissioning? You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
That makes no
How does he
sense
get
to
in
me.
there?
How does he get in? Yeah. When did Rob Manfred step in as commissioner?
This sounds
Johnny.
like a Jeffrey
I think,
Epstein.
I think he said 2014.
2014. Oh, so this is like
2014, yeah.
Sounds like a Jeffrey Epstein
What?
thing. He's got dirt on some people. I think that's how he got in.
Does anyone know how to turn accessibility off on
Maybe.
your phone?
What?
I can't touch the screen right now.
What the fuck?
Keep bantering about
And this is exactly why I don't get a fucking Apple phone.
I just did it in my pocket. I called my parents by mistake. They called me back.
Is this a new phone?
New phone, yeah.
Damn, new phone goofing.
Yeah, I know. My butt
Oh, boy.
fucking Kyle called it. Yeah.
Call the police.
Here, I have the picture.
Yeah.
There he is, Nick.
It's got to be a witch.
All smiles.
Like right before he comes on.
Fuck you, Manfred.
Right
Yeah.
before he announces that there's no more game.
Mm-hmm.
Tell Siri to turn off. That smiling motherfucker right there.
Siri, turn off accessibility.
I'm gonna give you a smile right to fucking hell. You're not
Can't
gonna be.
do
You're
that.
not gonna be smiling. The devil rips your soul out. He's not gonna be smiling when Satan gets his hands on him. Satan.
And then we've had old commissioners too. We went through a lot of like modern ones. I mean, there's a lot of old commissioners who are super racist. Obviously,
Well, yeah.
Keensall Mountain Landis, super racist. Did not want black people playing baseball. He had to fucking die in order for them to have Jackie Robinson in there. Yeah, big time racist. So yeah, Bowie Kuhn, also a really awful commissioner as well. He had a labor strike in 1981 during his watch. He fought against Kurt Flood, who's a very interesting person in labor rights for baseball. He banned Jim Bouton, who died a couple of years ago, who was this really fun figure in baseball, who wrote this book about what happens really in a clubhouse, in a baseball clubhouse. And he got really mad at him. That guy just fucking sucked, Bowie Kuhn. So also a very, very bad commissioner. But yeah, Manfred, I think, takes the cake.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a competition.
Rob Manfred, congratulations. You've won. You are the worst commissioner in sports. Woo!
Congratulations.
Fuck you.
Congratulations.
Stunning.